What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks, presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't already checked it out already, just go on over there and sign up. It's free money every single day. You got picks from me, Dean, Meansy, Noto, Analytics Capper, everyone over there every single day on pretty much every single sport that's going on that day. Plus, you get access to this nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly what RG has projected for guys every single day for three-pointers, points, rebounds, assists, points, rebounds. And the best place to find it, like we can see with Dylan Brooks here, the best line on his over of three-pointers is minus 130 on PointsBet and minus or plus 114 on the under. Plus, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge, where I'm throwing in every single bet I have on this show. As soon as I have it bet, throw it in there, and you have free access to that. Just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord and get on in there. I am joined by one of the best in the business. Was on last Friday, and if I remember correctly, we absolutely crushed it. Yeah, 7-unit day with AC on last Friday. Hoping to repeat today because I've got a decent amount of bets going. How you doing there, AC?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to jump back in. Yeah, it was an amazing Friday. I think you swept the hockey board, right? So let's go ahead and keep the heater going today.
Yeah, I think I only have one bet on hockey going today, but yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, but it turned out pretty darn well for hockey last Friday. I think I'm up. Now I'm only up 3 units, but I had a bad day yesterday with hockey, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still up 3 units, so really cannot complain. But we got a little bit of hockey, we got a little bit of baseball, a little bit of basketball. I've got about 15 bets. Are you ready to hop on in?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right, we'll start off with hockey because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just bet based on what offshore sports books have to say. Elias Lindholm over 2.5 shots on goal at minus 105. DraftKings. I need you to tell me if I'm dumb or not.
No, I don't think this is a dumb bet at all. It's been I know it's only day 2 of the hockey playoffs, but it's been a very interesting second half of the year into the playoffs. The overs are hitting. I'm usually on the other side, right? I'm very contrarian, so I kind of like underdogs and I like the under. But with Lindholm and the Flames, I think it's a really good look. Their offense is very exciting, and their matchup today. I mean, to be honest, I'm here in Dallas, but the matchup does favor the Flames today. So let me go ahead and bring that up real quick. Yes, they're about minus 230, 225, depending on the book. So you expect them to go out and take care of business on home ice today. Ottinger is in net for Dallas. Their defense has been a little weak the last couple weeks, especially that back line. So I do see a lot of shots. The total is a little low, 5.5, 6, depending on what you're looking at. But I do think that 2.5 shots is a really good look.
All right. Well, glad I got you on my side. That makes me feel a lot better about it. So, yeah, I'll just lock that pretty much in as a win. TK is actually limiting me on hockey props, which makes me feel pretty good because I didn't really expect that after a week of betting. So it means I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Do you want to do basketball or baseball first?
Let's do basketball next.
All right, so first bet I got is Jaylen Brown over 0.5 blocks. You can get it plus 270 over at MGM. Just really simple. Like, it's too high of odds. I know that he hasn't gotten a ton so far in this playoffs. We currently have him projected for slightly under pretty much what they have, man. He's only had blocks in one game so far this series, but it just seems like too low of a line here. He's going to be playing a lot of defense here. I just think that it's a bad line at that high of odds. It should be around plus 220.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see a much more aggressive Jaylen Brown, both on offense and on defense. A lot of people don't know, but the swipe down knock is also considered a block in the NBA. So you can see at least, one or two of those. Like you said, he only has 2 blocks for the entire playoffs. That's game 1 of the first series against the Nets. This series obviously is a lot more physical. There's a lot more size with Milwaukee. So if Jaylen Brown, I think that's that's not even a Hail Mary, right? Plus 270 is just awesome odds for something where you can get really lucky. And then obviously it seems like when he does get a block, he gets more than one. So I like it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Wesley Matthews over 2.5 rebounds. We haven't projected for slightly under that. Should play close to 30 minutes. I got it plus 130. That's the main reason why. I mean, it's close to a coin flip, probably slightly more on the under, but getting plus 130 odds, I think gives, according to my projections, around a 10% projected ROI. It's sitting at a lot lower on other sites like plus 115 over on Caesars. So I just think that's bad odds. I mean, I don't really expect you to have much of a comment on that just because it's one of those obscure lines.
No, I kind of like it, man, because we know that Drew Holiday is going to be the primary defender on Boston's ball handler, which means Wesley Matthews is going to be running around on the perimeter and sometimes, guarding the cut inside. So he'll be around the basket. 3 rebounds. I mean, looking at the playoffs, let's see, he's hit 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, and 5. So he's hit this number 50% of the games. And he hasn't hit it in 2 games. Simple math says that it should regress back to the mean tonight. So I do like that spot.
Yeah. That we're agreeing on everything. I like it. Next up, I have Tatum over 0.5 blocks plus 120. Statistically on the season at per 36, he averages 0.64. Going to need him a lot defensively here. He's going to be guarding a lot of Giannis. Should play 40 plus minutes in this spot. Getting this at plus odds is just a bad line here.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is very similar to Jaylen Brown. I think both of these guys are going to come out more aggressive, much more aggressive. They know if they lose tonight, the series is pretty much over, right? Losing both games at home before heading back to Milwaukee. So I see him a lot more aggressive, both on offense and on defense. The only downfall with some of these props is I kind of expect not a blowout, but a pretty sizable win for Boston. So maybe some of these guys are not going to hit the 40-minute mark, but who knows?
Yeah, so I saw something interesting earlier today. It looked like the Bucks were only minus 130 favorites. I'm going to check this again because I might end up hitting this line here. Series markets. Bucks are minus 130 right now after taking game 1. I mean, I could be wrong here, but just like I think Boston's probably the better team. Boston's if you asked me beforehand, I would say Boston's probably the more likely one to win the series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. You can get it minus 126 over at FanDuel. I'm just checking all the places. Does that line seem off to you at all?
Honestly, I think it's accounting for Chris Middleton's injury, right? Even though they lost, they won game 1 in Boston. I kind of like it. I think it's a 50-50. I think if you were able to get the Bucks pre-series, right, pre-flop, you would have had plus odds, and it would be a great time to kind of hedge. Now you would get plus money on both sides. But if you believe in the Bucks and Giannis and his championship, DNA in that team because they are defending champs, I think minus 130 is a great price for a team that's already up in the series, and they still have 2 games at home.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put a G on the Bucks. I think FanDuel will let me check. FanDuel, it's a little bit better odds at minus 126, but I don't know if they're gonna let me get almost anything on that. I'm checking right now. Sorry, I'm making bets during the show. Let's see what FanDuel will let me get.
That's why we love this show, right?
No.
You can make bets live, and then people can follow you live as well.
Yeah, FanDuel's actually letting me get a G on that. Boom.
There you go.
I'll take it. I guess I also have a whole bunch of Celtics futures to win the championship, and I don't have much on the Bucks, so this kind of helps out that. So next bet I have Dylan Brooks over 2.5 assists. I got it at plus 115 odds. We currently have him projected for, I think, right at that number. Now a little bit under 2.12. But we look at how he's done so far not this series. Look at how he's done the last series and the first game of this series. I mean, he's got to be in there a lot. He's done really well guarding Steph. If he can stay out of foul trouble, he's probably going to end up playing a lot of minutes. But that's a big if with him. Since the playoffs began, 4-2-1, 4-2-3. So hitting right at about a 50% clip here. Should be heavily involved. Getting plus odds, again, just one of those spots where I think that it's probably a bad line.
I like it. Desmond Bain had a really bad shooting game in game one. John Morant is probably going to come out a lot more aggressive because, again, if they lose this game, the series might be over already. So with Brooks, I mean, you're right. The foul problems are an issue, right? He had 5 in game one. He fouled out in the last game of the game one, series one against the Timberwolves, and he had 5 in 2 other games. So he's had 4 games now. We're only 7 games into the playoffs. 4 of those 7 have had 5 or more fouls. He needs to control that. He's too important of a player to get in foul trouble. Same with Jaren Jackson. We know his issues as well. Those 2 guys are, honestly, in my opinion, the X factors of this series. If they play well defensively, I don't even think they need to even shoot well or score that much. They just need to be able to handle, Draymond Green's pick and roll, and then Dillon Brooks running around trying to guard Clay and Jordan Poole and Steph. So I like this look at 2.5 assists. He had 3 in that first game. So yeah, I think you just ride this.
Yeah. And then this is probably my favorite bet on the board today. Gary Payton over 1.5 blocks plus steals.
I love this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Minus 105. It should be at 2.5, or it should be at like minus 150. I mean, he's hit this in 3 of the 5 games of the Denver series, or 2 of the 5 games of the Denver series, and hit this in the last one. He should end up playing here close to 25, 26 minutes, which is more than enough for him. I mean, he's going to likely be guarding Morant. They need him in this spot here. It's just, I don't understand why this line is so low here.
Yeah, one other thing, not only him, but I would add Draymond Green. 2.5 steals and blocks for him is like easy. He basically got that in 1/2 in game one. Game one, he had 1 block and 3 steals. He's hit this number, I believe, 5 out of the 6 games. He's gonna come out with a vengeance today. Obviously, he's mad. He's pissed about being ejected in game one. So I think he's gonna have a big imprint on this game. I like Draymond Green and Gary Payton to do both.
Yeah, you got me sold. I'm actually going to hit this right now. Over on DK is the best odds I'm seeing at minus 130, which still likely doesn't seem high enough. I mean, Draymond's just he's going to be all over the place, and he's hitting this at a huge clip. I hit this a few times in the last series. Just finding it right now as I'm talking through things. Draymond, boom. I'm going to throw 500 on that one.
There you go.
See,
I've been actually doing these bets a lot more, the steals and blocks, because you're just playing the odds in terms of active hands, primary defenders, and Draymond in this game is going to play more than 35 minutes, and Gary Payton, he's always going to be in, right, because of Bane and John Morant. So I like both looks a lot.
Yeah, we currently have Draymond projected for right at 2.5 blocks plus steals, but I think that's a little bit low here. So I'm rolling with it.
Do those projections there on this site account for kind of like the enhancement or the increase in minutes? Because he's going to play more minutes in the playoffs compared to the regular season.
Yeah, so we have him projected for 35 minutes.
Okay.
This might have gotten raised, but yeah, I just don't see it like 4, 4, 2, 3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
Like he's
money.
hit this in every game except for one. He's potentially the best defender in the league. Like he's going to be all over the place. Yeah, I don't understand it. And same thing with this line. Wiggins over 1.5 3-pointers made. Our projections have him sitting at 2, and I have plus 140 on the over at Caesars. This is clearly just a bad line. I wouldn't be surprised right now if it's moved, and I mean I'd hit it at plus 110. No, it's still saying at plus 140 over at Caesars, plus 135 over at DK. So sites don't really know what they're doing on this one. I mean, 3-point
Yeah,
markets
he's
generally.
definitely going to have the attempts, right? It's just on him for making it. He'll have at least 4 to 5 3-point attempts tonight. He just needs to make 2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, roughly, if he has 5 on average, he's going to hit 2. There, or yeah, that's assuming 40% 3-point shooter, but he's probably closer to 38. So I mean, still like minus. It should be at minus odds most likely. I think I'm closer to 6 attempts likely with him. But yeah, it's just a bad line as long as this game stays close. Last NBA bet, I have Jaylen Brown under 33.5 points, rebounds, assists. You maybe. I know projections are on a different page with that with me, but it looks like the lines actually already moved pretty drastically. You can still get it at Superbook at minus 115. It's moved on Bet Rivers, Barstool down to 32.5, minus 130 on all the other sites. So I don't know. That makes me feel better about it. You have any thoughts on that?
I like it because I kind of alluded to this earlier. I think Boston's going to come out and beat Milwaukee pretty handily. So that means maybe lower minutes for Jaylen Brown. I like it.
Yeah. All right. You ready to move on to some baseball?
Let's do it, man. Baseball did not treat me well yesterday. So let's get a bounce back day today.
Baseball has not treated me well this season. I'm slowly making my way back, but like the dead ball has just absolutely crushed me because I had so many overs at the beginning of the season. I'm almost back to even on baseball, so that's good. But like the dead baseball, I had so many overs, and I'm like, it's got to adjust. It's got to adjust. Maybe it's just bad weather. I don't know. And then now finally, I'm starting to.
I'm different. I've been hammering unders, but I'm choosing the wrong games. I'm choosing the 1 or 2 games a night that actually hit the overs.
Yeah, no, it's been wild, weird season, and hopefully it corrects and they actually fix the baseball. But until then, I'm going to be betting a lot of unders. Although I do have several overs. One of my favorite ones, Trevor Story over 0.5 stolen bases plus 1,000. Do you know who leads the league since 2018 in stolen bases?
Is it really Trevor Story?
No, sorry. Stolen bases allowed. It's not Trevor Story. It's absolutely not Trevor Story.
I was about to say.
I'll assuming he's facing.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the pitcher on the other side.
Yeah, it's Thor. It's Noah Syndergaard. 43 between 2018 and 2020, even though he missed an entire season. That led the league along with Jacob deGrom. And then I think he's got like 5 or 6 this year. It's some ridiculous number so far this season. Story, not a huge stolen base guy, but he's leading off. Anyone can run on Thor. Plus 1,000. It should be plus 700 right now at worst. Derek Carty, shout out to Carty there. I wonder what he has projected for stolen bases for Story. He has Story projected for. I'm looking at the wrong day. That's why I'm an idiot. I'm refreshing. FYI, guys, if you want a good projection system, the bat is probably the best one out there. Probably should give a shout out to Carty, considering I actually use it, so I'm not going to lie about that. It's all there, but he has Story projected for the most likely person to get a stolen base on this entire slate. 0.33 stolen bases, which, that fully verifies my bet. I might double down. Oh, I've already hit.
No, don't double down on it.
Well, no, they only let me get 200 on DK, so then I went and bet MGM, and they let me get $60, and then FanDuel they let me get a little bit, and then Superbook they let me get $100. So I've hit it on every single site as much as I can to try and get a full actual unit on a 10-1 odds bet. And yeah, it's just silly at plus 1,000. And then Ronald Acuna, he's getting on. He's running. Like, this is a guy that I was a little bit worried about how he would be affected after tearing his ACL. I can't remember. For missing pretty much the entire all last season. Didn't know, but first game out, swiped 2 bags. He's going to run almost every single time he's on base. Not the greatest stolen base matchup here. And let's see I forgot it's a doubleheader. Did I bet the first or the second leg of the doubleheader?
It's Carrasco, I believe, in game 2.
Carrasco, it might be.
Oh, they changed it. It was Carrasco in game 1. They changed it now. He's pitching game 2. It's Peterson game 1.
All right. I mean, it wasn't going to matter either way. I have him in game 1, which starts here in 40 minutes. I might see if I can bet him on game 2 also. Let's see if that game line's even out. Is he not in the lineup today? I'm going to be so pissed if he's not playing this morning.
Yeah, I don't see it. Let me check out the late game.
Yeah, I don't think darn it, he's not in the lineup. It's Albies leading off. Yeah, if you can get it in the later game, I'm trying to see if they have lines out for that yet. I doubt they do. Yeah, they don't.
So that just voids this first bet then, right?
Yeah, voids the first bet. So if you can get it on a different site or on the second game, go do it. Aaron in chat asking, is Jaylen Brown under 33.5 points, rebounds, assists, still a good bet at minus 130. If you're in Arizona or Colorado, you can get it at minus 115 over at Superbook. Otherwise, I'd probably just go over to Bet Rivers or Barstool or Twin Spires, whatever you have, and bet at 32.5 minus 105 on the under. I think that's a slightly better line. Let's see. Next bet I have. Yeah, back to Noah Syndergaard. Under 4.5 strikeouts.
I like it.
Yeah, he was great back in the day, but he hasn't been the same self. Swinging strike rate is there, which worries me a little bit, but not enough for me to get off of this. He was ill in his last start, so he might not be as stretched out considering he's hasn't pitched in 9 days, I don't think. 17.3% strikeout rate. Going up against a tough Boston team. They know how to work the count a bit. It's in Fenway, so he can easily get blown up. Yeah, you like the under?
Yeah, he's only hit the over. He's only hit the over once this season. I mean, he's going 5-6 innings a game, so he's had 3 really quality starts, right? But only hitting that number once, which is his previous game, which I like to fade reactionary betting. So the fact that he just hit it makes me like the under more. And you're right, Boston's lineup is going to really work the count, and I don't see him throwing more than 90 pitches, right? He started the season 76, 82, 88. Yes, he had some days off, but I think he's going to stay around 90. So 5 innings at max.
Yeah, and then my last one is Trevor Rogers over 5.5 strikeouts, plus 115 over on Caesars. He has, looking at some of the numbers from beginning of last season, he hasn't been, or beginning of this season, he hasn't been great. Arizona, looking at their projected lineup, doesn't strike out a huge clip. But so far this season, I think they're striking out at one of the highest clips in the league. Checking. No, they're actually, 25.5% K rate so far this season. I know it's a little bit different versus lefty and righty because they can platoon out a whole lot of bats. But I'm just checking right now over on Fangraphs. I already bet it regardless. I'm just trying to remember what my rationale was behind it. Arizona is still striking out at an above average rate versus lefties. Rogers is much better than he's been so far this season. Just too low of a line, in my opinion, because I don't know if we're going to have a good lineup come out either.
Yeah, he's only faced this team once. It was last year, May 13, 2021. He pitched 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, and had 7 strikeouts. So he's seen the majority of this lineup. Lefty, I think he has actually really good stuff. 5.5 is the number at 5.5?
Yeah, 5.5 with plus 115 juice on the over.
Yeah, I like it at plus money for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take it at not plus money, but yeah, it's still looking like Caesars, MGM both have it at plus 115. That's pretty much it for my bets. You got anything you want to throw out here? Oh, sorry, Paul Blackburn, under 3.5 strikeouts, plus 105. Dude doesn't strike out anyone. I know he's going up against the Rays, but that's with positive juice on the under. That's just an auto bet for me. I know he's hit it a few times this season, but I don't care. Rays strike out a decent amount, but most of that's at the bottom of their lineup.
Yeah, for me, I have a couple looks going back to the NBA. I don't know if this is going to go against your series bet, but I like the Celtics tonight. I think they bounce back. I mentioned this already, but this is the closest thing to a must-win for them. So I do think they cover the 5, and I think they cover the 5 pretty comfortably. So first half, I think they're good, and full game is going to be good as well. And Bucks games in the playoffs, I think 6 for 6 has gone under, maybe 7 for 7. I forgot how many games they played in that first series. But I like the over tonight. I think Boston's going to get out and run. If they, play in the half court and let that Bucks defense really set it up with Giannis, Brook Lopez, and Bobby Portis. Really big front line. That's why they attempted 53s in that first game. So I think they're going to get out and run and get in transition. So I like the Celtics -5, and I lean the over tonight as well.
Nice. Yeah, I don't mind either of those. I mean, you mentioned it goes against my series bet, but getting the series after Milwaukee's already up 1, taking away
on the
in
road
Boston,
too. Yeah.
Like, this is pretty much a 3. Like, they both have 3 home games now, and Milwaukee's leading by 1 game, and I'm getting close to even money. Plus, I think I don't know how much futures I have. If I use a ton of free bets on NBA futures, and I think, Boston, I have 12K to win 12K on Boston.
Wow. Nice.
To win this year. It's not as much. I got 26K on Memphis. Milwaukee, I only have 1,000 if they win the championship, but I don't want that to happen.
Memphis, a big game tonight. Basically, a must-win for them. How do you feel about them?
I mean, I'm not the right person to ask because I'm a huge
homer. You are the right person to ask. That's why.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm going to put down another bet here. I want to see what we have projected, but Bane over 17.5 points. It seems like an overreaction to his last game, just shooting terribly. I don't expect that to continue. I mean, more focus is going to be on on Ja. So I'm actually adding Bane here over 17.5 points.
Yeah, I like that. His first game, he shot 3 for 10 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3-point range. He hasn't made less than 1 3 in like 6 games prior to that. So the guy is going to be coming out, shooting a ton. I expect at least 10 3-point attempts from Bane tonight.
Yeah, and you look at what he's done, what he did in the last series. I mean, he
on
averaged
fire,
like 25, 26, 27. It had 26, 34, 25, and 23. This guy's a 40% three-point shooter. Only had 1 in the last game, shot 30% from the field. He's much, much better than that. And he's my favorite player in the NBA. So let's go Desmond Bane.
There you go.
That should do it. AC, thanks for hopping on. Sure we'll have you on again soon. Really appreciate it. Go check him out at Twitter at AnalyticsCapper. He's tweeting out good stuff. Thanks for joining me. We're out of here. Hey, kids.